Hello and welcome again to another edition of TSL Talk. I'm Adam Smith, and as always we're joined by Tasmania's #1 football writer, Brett Stubbs. Brett, always a pleasure.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks for the introduction.
Another big round of footy, mate. Full first round for the year, and results probably went as most would have expected.
Yeah, I think so. There was a couple of tight games, especially down at Lauderdale, North Hobart. It took North Hobart the last quarter before they could overrun Lauderdale. And sounds like a cracking game up at West Park, where Clarence had to kick 6 goals to none in the last quarter to overrun the young Dockers.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, you were up at the TCA for Ackermanis' second game, Glenorchy versus Hobart. What did you think of the match?
Yeah, the Acker Circus rolled into the TCA. It wasn't a bad. It was very windy up there, especially early in the game. Which had a major effect on the skills on show, but Acker's skills did stand out. He didn't get a lot of the ball, but everything he did was pure class. But Reece Mott was probably best on ground, but Jay Bowden kicked 6 goals, including 4 straight in the second quarter, and was probably the difference between the two teams. Jay's obviously, I think he's 22 now. Do you think he's any chance for that mature age AFL recruit like we've seen with Jeremy Weberly and Jeremy Howe?
Yeah, you'd have to think so. He's obviously got the skill set, and he's been touted as a high player for a long time. If he puts together a really big season this year, I don't see why other clubs won't have a look at him.
Yeah, that's right. And Hobart were Hobart. They were gritty. They had a go, but they just don't have that class at the moment to really mix it with the big boys in the TSL.
Yeah, they're a team that scraps. They'll surprise a few teams during the year, but it's going to be another tough one. They don't have the star players a lot of teams do, and they'll be around the mark, but they just need to get a couple of players that maybe can top them up, and they could improve.
Yeah, now fears about Devonport look well justified, don't they?
Yeah.
They've got 160-point belting in the end from Launceston, and it could be a long year for the Northern Magpies.
Yeah, I think it is going to be a long year. Launceston are a very good side, we mustn't forget that, but Devonport lost a lot of players, a lot of senior players, a lot of experience, and they're going to struggle, there's no doubt, and it may be they could go through without a win.
And the other game that started on Friday night, unfortunately for South Lonnie, everyone keeps waiting for them to have a real decent crack, we hope, with Mitch Thorpe, but they had a big loss to start the season as well.
Yeah, I think they've opened up against North Launceston the last couple of years and have struggled a little bit. But they can get better. They've got a lot of young kids, under 14s, under 16 state players that are coming through, under 18s as well, I think. So, if Mitch can get going and bring a couple of them with him, they might improve. But I reckon they're a bit like Hobart. They're probably sort of just going to be around the bottom of the ladder, and they'll cause a few problems. But you can't really see them challenging the likes of Clarence and Glenorchy.
Do you think that's a concern at all, that we're sort of seeing the same teams pretty much down the bottom year in, year out so far in the competition?
Oh, look, no doubt. I mean, you want to see an even comp, with sides coming through, and, I'd love to see a Hobart, a South Launceston, Lauderdale, they're improving a little bit, and they might continue to do this year, but to see them really, pushing the likes of these top 4 or 5 teams, you don't want it to see what happened in the last state league where they sort of fell away, and of course the league abandoned, didn't it? So.
That's right, and there's some interesting games coming up for this round.
Yeah, there are. I think probably pick of them looking at this, mate. North Hobart and Launceston on Saturday. I believe you'll be out there. What do you expect from that, mate? It's going to be a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be a cracker. Both teams had good wins to start their season. North Hobart's, they've gone under the radar a little bit. They've got a new fitness coach down there. He used to work with the British Olympic team, and he's got them really fit, and a lot believe that that's the key to their success, and we saw them outrun Lauderdale in the last round. Launceston's always a strong team, and a bit disappointing in the finals probably last year, and they've got a lot to play for, so it should be a really even game.
Hobart have faced Glenorchy, then they come up and face Clarence, and at home, Clarence haven't lost there for a couple of years now. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I think you just can't see Hobart getting over that game. It should be another win to Clarence.
North Launceston faced Devonport. You'd assume it'd be a big win for the Bombers.
Yeah, mark the Bombers in for that one.
Glenorchy and Lauderdale. Now, Lauderdale surprised them a couple of years ago, I think, out at KG5, but as we've seen, Glenorchy are on the improve, and you think that'll be a close game at all?
Lauderdale will have a go, but Glenorchy's a new team this year from the one that Lauderdale defeated last year out at KG5. And with all their recruits, and they're in good form at the moment, you'd have to go with the Pies. In
the final game, South Launceston and Burnie at Youngtown. You think Burnie will bounce back from the loss last week and get their first win?
Yeah, that should be a win to the Dockers at Youngtown.
Well, thanks for your time, Brett.
No worries, Adam.
Always a pleasure. And just remember, for all your TSL news, grab your Mercury or head to the MercuryOnline.